Good morning, one to all. Myself, Pirpaksam Chogla, Assistant Professor, Department of PNC, KLS VDRIT, Haryat. Today I am giving the lecture series on Technological Innovation, Management and Entrepreneurship subject. The lecture number 17 in the model number 3. In the model number 3, I can give the lecture number 17. Okay. The content covered in these lectures are meaning of the social responsibility, different view of social responsibility towards the consumers and community, towards the consumers and community, and towards the state, towards the community and towards the state. Okay. See here, content covered in the previous lecture, what I have discussed in the last class: communication process, then feedback of the communication, importance of the communication, types of the communication. In detail I have discussed in the previous class. Okay. After this lecture, student will be better understand the learning outcomes of the today's lectures are meaning of the social responsibility, different views of the social responsibility towards the consumers and community and towards the state. These are the learning outcomes of the today's class. See here, first you have to study meaning of social responsibility. Meaning of social responsibility. You have to study in detail, then we'll go next. See here, social responsibility is an numerous idea and hints to do fixed in various ways. One author has written, what has written, defined this. Adolf Berle has written, define the social responsibility as a manager responsiveness to the public consensus. Means what he has written, define the social responsibility as a manager responsiveness in the public consensus. This means that there cannot be a same set of social responsibility applicable to all the countries in all times. All the countries in all times, there would be determined in each case by case customer, religion, traditionals, level of industrializations and the host of other norms and standards about. Based upon this social responsibility of a manager effectiveness, they cannot be same set of social responsibility. Okay, which there be a public consensus at any given time in a given society. According to the another writer has written, Kahet, what has written, social responsibility refers to two types of business obligations. One is social economic obligation and social human obligation. What has given? One is social economic obligation and other is social human obligation. The social economic obligation of every business is see that economic consequences of its action do not advisedly affect the public welfare. What I am telling understood here, social economic obligations of every business in every business is to see that the economic consequences of the action do not advisedly affect the public welfare. This includes the obligations to promote the employment of to maintain the competitions and inflations. Getting the point. The social human obligation, second, of every business is to nurture and develop the human values. The human obligations, human obligations on every business is to nurture and develop the human values such as cooperation, motivation, self-realization of the work. Means here what happening? Human obligation here and there. economic obligation. These are the two social responsibilities. Every business firm is a part of the total economic and political system and not in a without foreign relations. It is a center of the network of relationship to the person, groups, and things. What I am telling, every business firm is a part of total economic and political system. It is a center of network of relationship to the person, groups, and things. Getting the point? The businessman should therefore consider the impact of action on all which he related. A businessman should be consider the impact of his action to all to which is related to that business the action is. He should be operate his business as a trustee for the benefits of his employees. What I'm telling is the owner or businessman, the business operates a trustee for its benefits of employees, investors, customers, government, and general public. His task is to mediate among their interest to ensure that each gets a square deals and that nobody interest and sacrifice to those of others. Means here whatever you do the business social responsibility he should operate his business to trust benefits of employees, investors, customers, and government and general public. Then we'll get business will improve. Social responsibility, different views of social responsibility you have to study, then we'll get idea. This is a meaning you have studied. This what is social responsibility. Here you have to different views of social responsibility, one by one you have to study. See here there are four different views of social responsibilities or business. They are, one is communist view. This view advocates the imposition of social responsibility of the business through instrumentality of the state. Communists hold that pre-industrial civilization is not a good because its value are to be wrong order. This view advocates the imposition of the social responsibilities on the business through the instrumentality of the state. Business has been concerned only with the material gain. Economic expansion is taken to be in the sole creation of the decision. Therefore, business is an evil compromise impossible between the wealth, which is a practical religion of capitalist societies. Because of because of immorality of the business standards, this view advocates the imposition of social responsibility through the force. Because of immorality of business standards, this view advocates the imposition of social responsibility through the force. Then second is capitalist view. This view holds the economic expectancy and all just standards for business decisions, and that business has unburied and uncontrolled right of to make money free from all the sorts of social responsibilities. What I'm telling here, capitalist view, the view holds the economic expenditure alone is just a standard for business decisions, and that has business has been unburied and uncontrolled right to make a money. Getting the point? Free from all the sorts of social responsibilities. Directly earning the money. By maximize his profit, objectives, business, his personal desire, and the same time satisfy the need of the society. Therefore, business should not have any responsibility beyond the obeying certain legal codes to achieving its goal. Here, capitalist view is who holds the economic expectancy alone and is just standard for business decisions. Also, personal desire, same time satisfy the need of the society. Business should be not have any responsibility beyond the obligatory certain legal codes achieving its goal. Getting the point? This is a capitalist view. Social responsibility. Milton Friedman, who won the Nobel Prize in 1976. Social responsibility. Milton Friedman, who won the Nobel Prize in 1976, holds the view of business should go on the business of producing the goods and services efficiency and leave the solution of the social problems to the government, agencies, and concerned individuals. What has given Nobel Prize is 1976 holds the view of business should be go on with the business of producing the goods and service efficiently and leave the solution of the social problems to government agencies and concerned individuals. In short, managers should focus on what they know best, how to make it profit. What I'm telling understood. I can give you explanation, then will understood here. What I'm telling is managers should focus on what they know best, how to make a profit. This is about. Third is pragmatic view. In this view, acknowledges the importance of the profit but simultaneously stresses the need of social responsibility. It holds that company cannot make a social contribution if it is not profitable. Profits are the test of the efficient functioning of an business enterprise. Getting the point, acknowledges the importance of the profit but simultaneously stresses the need of social responsibility. It holds that company cannot make a social contribution if it is not a profitable. If it is not a profitable, then company cannot be a social contribution they cannot do. I can give an example. The Infosys company, they are contributing the flood affected areas. Means here what happening? They are in the profit. Some part of the profit they will social cause they are giving. Profits are the test of the efficient functioning of an business enterprise. Profits are the test of efficient functioning of the business enterprise. The stick and organization is a social liability and can be hardly contribute to the area of social responsibility. Hence, businessman's first responsibility is to keep the business so valiant or good equivalence. Businessman's first responsibility is to keep the business good and creative. But he must also voluntarily assume the social responsibilities beyond the legal minimum. This can be done on the three levels. How they are doing? Voluntarily. At the first level, the manager goes beyond the legal minimum and caters also the public expansions, moving in the wind of the public opinion below. What I am telling here, manager goes beyond the legal minimum and public explanations, moving at the public opinion. And the second level anticipates the public expectation or expectations and act accordingly. Public expectations are more and how they are giving according to that you have to work act accordingly. And third is highest level is creating the new public expectations by voluntary setting and following the standards of moral and social responsibility. This is good. The third is highest level. In the highest level, he creates the new public expectations and voluntary setting and following the standards of moral and social responsibilities. Trustship view. The view advocates the for personal use of such so much and it necessary for honorable livelihoods, no better than enjoying millions others. Production of in cheap and better quality goods and service by developing new skills. Our responsibility is there. Then social responsibility is production of cheap and better quality goods and service by developing the new skills, innovations and techniques by locating the factories and markets at a proper place and the realization or realizing the use of capital and labor. If I read this, you will get clear idea. Production of a cheap and better quality goods and service by developing new skills. What is required in the market? The quality, better quality and cheap. I can give an example. The pen is there. You are producing the pen. The pen is the quality is good and rate is low. Getting the point. And in the service also they are giving pen is writing good. Means here developing new skills, new ideas, innovations and techniques you have to use by locating factories and markets at a proper place and by realizations or rationalizing the use of capital and labor. Leveling out seasonal variations and employment and production through accurate forecast. Production scheduling and production diversification. These two. One is production scheduling and product diversification. Deciding the priorities of the production in the country interest and converting natural resource. Getting the point? I am telling deciding the priorities based upon the priorities of the production in the country interest and conserving a national resource. Providing for social audits will discuss next. Social audits will discuss next. Just social audits and following the honest trade practice. These two are the important towards the consumer and community. Making the real consumers need has to creation for selecting the message to be given by product. If the product is good, the name will come. If consumer need, this is required need based upon the selecting the message by given by the product. Advertisement. Nearly all current advertising seeks to create the wants. Means what is required. Thus, people no longer buy soap. I can give an example, then we'll get a clear idea. Thus, people no longer buy soap but to make them clean. They buy the promise that he would make them beautiful. What I'm telling understood. I given this sentence I put here. People no longer buy soap to make them clean. They buy the promise that he would make them beautiful. Preventing the creation of monopolies. Monopolies are the bad in that they make a community face high prices, short supply, and interior quality of goods. Means preventing the creation of monopolies. Monopolies are bad and they have make a community face high prices, short supplies, and interior quality goods. Towards the consumers and community, okay, providing the for after sale servicing, ensuring hygienic disposal of smoke and waste, and voluntarily assisting to making the town environmental and satisfying, achieving better public relations, that is creating the more favorable attitude towards the enterprises by given by the community true adequate easily intelligible information about the work towards the community, supporting the education, clearance, and similar other programs. Means socially what you are doing, supporting the education. You have to support slum clearance. Similar other programs you can do. This is a social responsibility you are doing to the community towards the employees and workers. Social responsibility to the community. Then towards the employees and workers, what you are doing? A fair wage of workers had merely one determined by market force to supply and demand, which is possible only when the businessman is willing to accept the voluntarily calling on him own profit. Own profit. Fair wage to the workers, which is possible only when the businessman is willing to accept voluntarily selling on his own profit. Getting the point? What they are doing? Just selection, training, promotions. These are workers without any discrimination on grounds of religion, physical appearance, sex, race. These are the based upon the social responsibility of the owner to the workers. What is needed that he will do based upon that. What I am doing is just selection, training, promotions. Social security measures the good quality of work life. Work life is good. Good human relations, maintaining industrial species, creating the conditions of collective, educating workers to produce their own leadership and participative management. Then you have to give the freedom, self respect, self realization. The businessman should devote the knowledge and ability not only to making his workers' life more efficient or convenient, but also to make it more satisfying and rewarding. There should be an awareness that quality of man's life is important. Increase the productivity and efficiency by recognition of merit, by providing the opportunities to creative talent and incentives. Creating talent and incentives bonus you have to give. Towards the shareholders and other businessmen, what is the responsibility? Promoting the good governance through the internal accountability and transfers. Fairness in relationship with competitors, Completion with rival businessmen should always be fair and healthy, based on the rules of ethics and fair play rather than the rules of the welfare. Businessmen sometimes treat as rivals and harm each other by propaganda, pre-cutting, interference in production and distributions. What they are telling is, in this, fairness in relations and competitions or competitors, always fair and healthy. Price cutting, interference, production and distribution. No reducing and separate. Fixed rate, fix, no changes, nothing. All this will come. This is a employer towards employees and workers. Means overviewing all the laws of land which may have to following objectives towards the state to provide direction to the economic and business life of the community towards the state. What they are doing is to provide the direction. They are giving the direction to the economic and business life of the community. To bring about harmony between the limited enterprise interest and a wider social interest of the country. Main is harmony between limited enterprises interest and wider social interest of the country. Both they are checking and giving to provide a safeguard against the business practices. To compact the business to play fair to all the participants in the economy, employee, minority shareholders. What I am telling is to complete business to play fair to all the participants in the economy. Employees also have to see, shareholders, then minority shareholders. Based upon this three, compel the business means you have to taking into consideration the business should run good. Means to prevent the operations or explanations or operations of the weaker partners in business, such employees minority shareholders. The partnership business, if the partner is not correctly going, he is a weaker, then what happening? This also you have to see to prevent the operations and exploitation of the weaker partners. To enforce the maximum production according to the priority of the sector and production lines laid down by the government. To enforce the maximum production according to the priority of the sectors and production lines laid down by the government. To allocate limited resource according to social priorities and preference. What I am telling is allocate limited resource should be less according to the social priorities based upon the priorities and preference. If the preference is given correctly to social priorities and limited resource you have to use to enforce the distributive justice to the weaker section of the community. Social responsibility means improve the weaker section of the community. To implement the rural, secure, balanced development of the country. The implement means you can implement any social cause in the rural areas. Balance the development of the country means rural areas and urban areas. So you have to balance it. Then we'll get the state will improve. This is a basic thing you have to study here. Okay, this is about your brief idea I have given about this towards the state, towards the social responsibility, towards the community, towards the workers. Brief idea I have discussed here. In this lecture, the Bloom's taxonomy use levels is L1 and L2. The course learning objective you are using this lecture is describe the functions of manager, enterprise and social responsibilities. The CO2, then program outcomes are PO1, 2, 6 and 11 are mapping. You can see in the given in the chart, we'll get the idea, we'll get some idea. Okay, this is Bloom's taxonomy, just remembering and understanding up to L1 L2 level. This lecture come. Okay, thank you one and all, thank you.